Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Matt, and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday. I am so happy to see each and every one of your faces. Hopefully, you're happy to see my ugly face. If not, I'm sorry. If so, awesome. Today's review is a fantastic one. But first and foremost, I hope each and every one of you are having a fantastic morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk. Whenever it is you're watching this, please like, share, and subscribe. Today's movie is a fun one. It's from 1992. It's running about an hour and a half, hour and 29 minutes-ish. Stars Brian Krause, Madchen, Amick, and Alison Krige. And directed by none other than Mick Garris. Like I said, 92. Sleepwalkers. Yes. This is the old DVD. I would like to upgrade to the new Scream Factory Blu-ray. It's just a little out of my price range for something I want to... For a movie that I don't like enough to spend $30 for, I guess. I love it, but not for $30. Maybe 20. I'd do that. Now, like I said, this is the old DVD release. Here we go. Here's your special features on that one. All right. And let's see. No reversible cover art, obviously. We got a nice little index card in here with a little bit of information. And like I said, your index card right here on the back. Very cool picture here on the front. I like it. Very neat. And as far as the disc goes, it is a regular DVD. It is, I want to say Blu-ray, not Blu-ray, widescreen and full screen format. It has the option. I could be very wrong. Widescreen and full format. I am right. Very cool stuff. And like right here, it says cameos by Clive Barker and Stephen King. Yes, and there's also cameos by Tobe Hooper, Joe Dante, Ron Perlman's in here for a moment. I'm trying to think who else. There was, I think, one other person that came in here on the cameos. That was really cool to see them. Now on to what the movie's about. It's about a mother and a son who, at the very beginning of the film, you see these police officers bust into this house that looks like it hasn't been in. No one's been in it for years and all. They're in there and they find a dead body that it looks like it's been there for God knows how long. Unfortunately, it has not been dead very, very long at all. Its soul has been basically drained out of her body. Very interesting. Now, you fast forward just, I want to say, like a week or two from then. They moved to a small town in Indiana. They decide they're trying to find their next victim. This mother and son are, and there's something different about them. Nobody realizes it, except for the viewers. They are shapeshifters. And a shapeshifter can basically morph itself into anything it wants, hence the name shapeshifter. These shapeshifters are also able to turn invisible, turn items invisible, such as cars, and they can turn each other like another person invisible besides themselves. They are deeply scared of cats because cats are the one and only thing that can see them for what they are, and they are the one and only thing that can really do any damage to them. Otherwise, they're kind of, I wouldn't say immortal, but they are very hard to kill. Let's just say that. Excuse me. Smoker's cough. Yeah, I think I need to smoke another one, huh, Matt? So, they're shapeshifters. They're in this small town. He falls in love with this girl named Tanya, who's played by Madchen Amick, which I crack up at this because she is definitely not a teenager in this movie, and honestly, none of the teenagers look like teenagers. It's the typical Hollywood people in their mid to early to mid 20s. That some of them are even up into their 30s in some films, like oh shoot, Slaughter High with I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but Slaughter High, they were notorious for that. They had a bunch of people that were way into their 20s and one or two of them up into their 30s. So that's a Hollywood thing for some reason. Why they do it, I don't know. Maybe to get around child labor laws. That's the only thing that makes perfect sense to me. Other than that, and also kids are hard to work with. Back to this one. So he falls in love with this girl named Tanya. He wants to court her, and he gets his opportunity to meet her and to be with her, or at least take her on a date. And first off, their teacher decides he knows that something's wrong with Brian Krause's character Brady, or not Brady, Mr. Brady, Charles Brady. All of a sudden, clicked in my brain. Charles Brady, played by Brian Krause. Now, Charles Brady is being blackmailed by one of the teachers, or at least he attempts to. Which the teacher, I can't think of his name right now. He is most recognizable to me from both Demolition Man and Beetlejuice. He was a very fun character in all three films that I've seen him in that I can think of off the top of my head. I've seen him in other stuff. It's just those are the first things I think of. Now, you got that going on. And then you also got a deputy, a sheriff's deputy that has a attack cat in his car. First and only time I've ever seen anything like that. That's a little strange. I've never really heard of people traveling with their cats. Definitely heard of that with their dogs. And I've never heard of it about a cat. I've been in a car with a cat, but that's when you're transporting it home and you have nothing else. That's the only way you get it home is through a car. Now, after you got all those little factors going in there, he finally gets to go out on a date with Tanya. They go to an old cemetery and they're going to do grave rubbings, which is when you put paper over top of a grave marker and you use a graphite pencil or a graphite powder to rub across the paper to get a etching of an outline of everything that's on that thing, and they use that as artwork. That's kind of weird artwork to me, not really for me. I'm into the sick and the morbid. That one just seems boring to me on the sick and the morbid side. It's not sick and morbid enough for me. It's just that's kid stuff. I'm joking. Now let's get back. I don't want to give too much more away. They go to that cemetery. They're doing the grave rubbings. That's when the movie decides to show everybody, including Tanya and the other characters, what Charles and his mother Mary really look like, or at least what they really are. And they definitely get to see both of them in their natural forms. Okay, now onto ratings. On this one is on the technical side. Mick Garris is a pretty accomplished director. I don't ever see flaws in his stuff. At least huge flaws. Nothing to basically complain about and that ruins the movies. Nothing like that. No huge plot gaps. I mean, there are plot holes in this, but that's almost every movie that exists. there's going to be a plot hole. There's very, very few that it completely erases the plot holes. So I'm going to go ahead on the 1 through 5. I'm going to give it a 3. It's nice, right in the middle of the road. Very smooth sailing on the technical side. There's some nice camera shots. Like I said, there's amazing cameos by other people in the horror community, which is awesome to see. Then you got the amazing story done by Stephen King. You cannot go wrong with a Stephen King story. They are very, very easily adaptable to the big screen. It's just if you do it the right way. Mick Garris is pretty good at it because he's done like 7 or 8 Stephen King films now that I think I could be wrong. So we got a 3 on the technical side. Now on an entertainment side, this one's pretty damn entertaining. It's got some fun gore. The story doesn't really lag in places. I never find myself bored. I've seen this like probably 8 or 9, 10 times now. I've seen it several times, and each time I enjoy it a little more. That's how much I like Sleepwalkers. I feel like it doesn't get enough love out there. I think a lot of people pass it up because it's not one of the most well-known Stephen King films. I mean, it is well-known. I mean, obviously Scream Factory updated it, but most people don't talk about it. There's a weird thing with incest in here that will boggle your mind, and it's gross. It's gross. Although Amy Brady Charles's mom is kind of an attractive woman. I am not gonna lie. Yeah, she's good looking. So we're gonna give it another 3 on there. We're gonna give this a 6 overall. Not too bad. 6 out of 10, a little above average. Nothing that I don't think will rattle you to your soul on how it is. But it is fun. I'm going to set that down now. So please go check it out. Either track down the old DVD, which I'm sure you can find for pretty cheap. And then you got the new Blu-ray from Scream Factory, which is it's pretty pricey. It's rolling about $28 to $30. So you got to be willing to drop a little dough on this one if you like it that much. All right, guys. I love all your faces as always. I got an amazing one for tomorrow, one that I love, and I hope each and every one of you will check it out, and hopefully you guys like it as well. And as always, peace.